Welcome back to a weekly vlog. I'm actually having to cover up my eyes, you would not believe it, but I am currently in Scotland on the west coast. I have come up here to do some of my freelance work, and I thought I'd do a little vlog to kind of show you what I do alongside my triathlon coaching, how I've managed to fit it all in a week, but more importantly, as a freelancer, how I still stay healthy by making sure I get all my exercise in around my work, and how I eat healthy meals, and how I do it on a budget. So as a freelancer, I get paid per day. I don't get no money for hotels, no money for food, no money for travel allowance. So it's important for me to try and do it as cheap as possible, so then I get loads and loads of money left over at the end, or as much money. Because as you can appreciate, the more money I spend, the less money I take home. So that's why I try and do it as cheap as possible. So the drive took me around 4.5 hours. It was 275 miles, and I am currently in a guest house in a small kind of seaside town in Ayr, and it actually cost me £140 for 5 nights. It is very, very basic. When the tap in your room sounds like a penguin. It has a kettle, it has a shared bathroom, and I will be showing you how I eat cheaply within that room and how I make sure I get healthy meals throughout the week. Because it is far too easy to eat takeaways, to go to the pub, to drink alcohol, and basically use that as an excuse to neglect my health. The reason I'm stopping in Ayr is because I am across 5 locations. So 2 days in Glasgow, in 2 different locations. I am in Ayr for 1 day, Troon for 1 day, and Girvan. So that is basically how I am splitting it up across the week. I will also get a day off where I will get to cycle around Isle of Arran. Across the entire week, I'll probably end up doing over 1,000 miles, and I am really only coming up here because I have contracts close to my house, and they have different departments up in Scotland, and to get those contracts I had to agree to come up here to do some work. So I've managed to pull them all together and put them all in this week, and so yeah, I'm gonna basically mix it between business and pleasure, get my training done and get to visit some beautiful sites. So as I've spent, like I mentioned, 4.5 hours in the car, it was important for me to come out and get some exercise. I can't be really asked to go for a bike or for a run at the moment, so I thought I'd come out for a nice stroll, see the views, and literally, as you can see, I'm on this beautiful beach, and right above me is what they call Greenan Castle, and I don't know if you can make out on the GoPro, but there is the Isle of Arran, which I'll be cycling around on Thursday. So I've managed to have it so I have a complete day off, and I'm going to go to Isle of Arran. I do a full lap of the island, and I'll put that in a separate vlog, and I'm going to take a camera and hopefully try and find what they call the Big 5. So the Big 5 is red deer, otter, seals, red squirrels and eagles. So if I get to see all those, I'll be excited. If I get to see an eagle in the wild, I will eat straw of a donkey. I will put that out there right now. if I get to take a picture of an eagle, I will eat straw of a donkey. Mark my words on that. So usually, throughout my training weeks, I work with a nutritionist, Chris, and we work out our meal plans down to the exact calorie along with the training. But because of this week, we can't really do that. So it was a case of just setting a baseline of 1800 calories per day, and whatever exercise that I manage to get done, I will eat back 50% of those burnt calories. That way I will be in a calorie deficit, as we're still aiming for a race weight in 3 weeks time for Challenge Roth. Now, Challenge Roth is in 3 weeks, and this is not the best prep on the start of a peak week. However, Challenge Roth does not pay the bills. Work does. So I have to make the best of it, and I think you'll find most of you will resonate with that. So it's just a case of making do and having a bloody good time while we do it. I think you'll agree, based on the views that I'm currently seeing, this is well worth the visit up here, without a doubt. And this is why I became a freelancer, so I could pretty much do what the hell I want within reason and don't be tied to a salary, a pension, and try and live my best life possible. So hopefully you'll get something from this and understand why I do it. So whether you are not aware of this, I used to work for NHS as a health and wellbeing coach, and quite frankly it became oversaturated, very, very stressful, and I took the big decision to walk away from the salary, walk away from the pension, and become a freelancer. And do you know what? It's the best decision I ever made. It enables me to pick and work where I want. It gives me lots more freedom. It brings me to fantastic locations like this. Just found a little bit of sea glass. My fiance loves that, so that'll be getting taken home. And yeah, I hate being employed. I hate being told what to do, and this gives me the ability to be able to come away and do weeks like this, and that's why I do it. And this is why we get insane views like this. Now, I appreciate giving up the security of a secure job isn't for everybody, but I just really wanted to fulfill my dream of being a triathlon coach, and this work gives me the opportunity to do that. It gives me added comfort knowing there's a decent salary coming in around coaching, and that I can work as much or as little as I want. So that's the reason I do it. And I do try and cap it to so many days per month, and I always choose the work on my terms. I never get told where to go. It's always offered. Some more sea glass. It's always offered, and I will generally check if it's an area that I'd like to go to, exactly like the west coast of Scotland, and that's why I'm here. So it's going to be a manic week, but it's going to be worth it. So I've had a little stroll now, and I'm close to my 10,000 steps, so that's good. means I've had some form of exercise today despite it not being triathlon training. And I'm going to go back to my room and have a healthy meal, and hopefully my air fryer won't set off the smoke alarm. So let's head back and then we'll get cracking on with this week. Alright guys, so I'm back at the guest house now. Like I mentioned, it was cheap as chips because I'm trying to do this on a budget. It's a tiny little single room, and yeah, like I said, I will show you how I eat healthily and to make sure that I keep costs down and to make sure that I keep myself out of the takeaways and the pubs. So you might be able to hear in the background, I've actually got a little air fryer with me, and I've got some couscous just soaking there. I've got some roast vegetables. I've got my little fridge, and I've got some chicken in there. I've got some milk for morning. I've got a couple of cheeky little beers. I'll be having one of those later. And I've got a bag full of dried goods, things like rices and couscous and noodles. So the plan is to just get some fresh veggies each day and some fresh protein, and every time I cook each evening it will be enough left over for the day's lunch the following day. And that's how I make sure that I eat healthily, make sure I keep under my calories, keep it all controlled, and stops me from getting fat. So yeah, no excuses as far as I'm concerned. You just got to think outside of the box. I just hope I don't set the smoke alarm off. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to enjoy my tea, and I'm going to get my bag ready for the morning, making my way to Glasgow for day one. So I've managed to get this morning done, and through no fault of my own, the company who I am working for has actually messed up the appointments, so I am now done for the day. Fortunately, we're on a beautiful canal called the Clyde Canal, and some beautiful nature around here, and because I've only done 1,000 steps today, I thought I would come out and get my step count up before packing up and heading back off. So I have actually found close by a open water swim venue which opens at 4 o'clock, literally 200 metres down the road at the end of this canal. So I'm going to be going there, which I'm quite excited about, because I was going to go to David Lloyd for a swim, but actually means I get to get some open water practice, so it's always worth bringing your wetsuit for situations like that. So always come prepared. But yeah, it's a beautiful day, and this actually means I get the rest of the afternoon off and tomorrow off, and that will be on full pay because it's their fault, not mine, which is a bonus. So I think I will be heading to Galloway Forest Park tomorrow, which will be also an opportunity for a bonus vlog. So yeah, looking forward to that. The beauty of my work, it gets to bring me to places which I would never really want to go. I'd never think in a million years that Glasgow would be as stunning as this is, and these buildings are all mills from when it used to be a working canal. Now they're all swanky offices and apartments, and it's a really, really nice part of the city. So it's always worth coming to places like this, and you get to explore all around your beautiful country, which is a privilege, I guess. Absolute privilege, especially when it's this sunny. Right, so that's my work day done, despite not really being a work day, and I've just got to this open water swim venue called Pinkston near Glasgow, and it is like a really, really big swimming pool, so, as you can see, and that sun is absolutely glorious. It's like being in Australia. I don't know about Scotland. So yeah, I'm booked on for an hour's swim and get this done, and then I'm going to head out for a little easy recovery run later, and then chill out in my room, or maybe go and watch the sunset. We'll see what the night unfolds. But yeah, time to swim. Swim done, 45 minutes. That was absolutely awesome. Now head back to the digs, go for a run, have some tea, and then chill out. Good evening, guys. So as you could see earlier on, I managed to get my run done, a nice steady 45 minutes along the front there. Got back to my room, got a shower, and it was absolutely stifling. There was no way on earth I was gonna get the air fryer out, so I decided to come down to the beach, and I'm having a romantic barbecue for one. So the plan is tonight just to sit and watch the sun go down over the Isle of Arran. So you can see the castle in the background there, this beautiful beach, and my barbecue. So I'm going to hang around here, have my tea, and get some pictures of the sun going down. So what a day to end day one. Bit uneventful in terms of work. In fact, I did none, but I'm on full pay. I'm on full pay tomorrow. Like I mentioned, so I'm going to go out biking. I'm not going to put much of that on this vlog. I'll do a separate vlog. But yeah, other than that, this is going to be the end of day one. Life of a freelancer, eh? Can't be bad. Good morning, guys. So it's Tuesday morning. Like I said yesterday, I've now got an unexpected day off. So I'm about to set off in the car. I'm going to go and do the Gralloch route. So this is the route which has just been the UCI race in Scotland, the gravel race. It's about 110 kilometers, I believe, 1800 meters of climbing. So that is today. It's probably going to be the only other time I actually get paid to ride my bike, so it's like being a professional today, apart from I'll be a bit slower. So I'm about to set off. It's an hour and 10 minutes to get there. Bit of a trek, but it's going to be well worth it. But yeah, other than that, it's going to be a great day. I'm going to put it in a separate vlog the entire day and try and keep this one to a minimum. I'll put some little bits in there. But one top tip I've got for you, not just freelancers, but everyone in general, is getting yourself one of these Boredoms travel mugs, cafetiere mugs. So as you're aware, coffees are £2 to £3 when you're away from home, and relying on getting a decent coffee can cost you an absolute fortune. So I've got myself a couple of bags of granulated coffee. It costs around £3.50, as you know, and one of those will last me about a week, and it always makes sure that I've always got decent coffee with me, and I'm not drinking the granulated crap which is supplied by the guest house. So there's a top tip for you. Right, so I guess it's time to make my way across to Gralloch and yeah, have some fun on the gravel bike, which I'm really looking forward to. Well, I got my ride done, which was fantastic because it was unexpected, and I obviously hadn't planned to do it, so it was nice to get that in and tick that off. So it was really good because it was the like I said, the UCI Gravel Championships recently, and I got back just in time for a scheduled potential athlete call. So yeah, I just made a call, had a chat, and talked about my coaching and seeing if we can help her achieve her goals. Potentially could be a really good athlete, so it'd be quite exciting if she decides to go ahead. And yeah, so I had the call next to this spot, and I just literally sat on that log right there. So I think he'll agree. There ain't many office views that come a lot better than that, is they? Look at that. Right, so I've just got back and been showered and cleaned my knee up a little bit. It's a bit messy, but it's alright. I've had worse. And just had my tea and I thought I'd come out for a walk, try and get my steps up. Despite being on the bike for 6 hours, it's always good to just open up your hips and come for a walk. I brought my tea along and sat and had it on the water's edge, up on the wall, and beside me there was a young lass, same age as my daughter probably, with no hair or clumps of hair missing, obviously having chemotherapy, and it's absolutely heart-wrenching to see something like that. Absolutely heartbreaking, and she's there with her mum and having laughs and jokes, and I don't know how her mum's dealing with something like that. I really don't. And fucked me head up, to be honest. Upset me, thinking about my own kids. The downside to freelancing is sometimes you've got to take some work away from home, and you know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and it doesn't happen very often, but when I do, I miss them. And you know, I'm very fortunate they're both very healthy, and you know, you don't know you're born sometimes when you see things like that. But I've actually just decided to come for a walk on the beach. Now, those of you that know me closely will know how much of a phobia I've got for sand. I absolutely hate the stuff. It just freaks me out, absolutely freaks me out. Even like looking at sand under a microscope, it's like a different world. It's just, I don't know, wizardry. It's awful, but you know, it was really inviting. God knows why I thought it, but I just thought, you know what, I'm going to take myself out of my comfort zone and come for a nice walk. And you know, I'm actually quite enjoying it, despite that gritty feeling underneath my feet. But when you've got a sunset like that, I can see why people come and do it. Now, my fiance will be pissed off with me, I'll be honest, because I've literally not gone on holiday because the beach holidays. Speaking of my fiance, I thought I found some more sea glass. And yeah, I do much prefer lakes and mountains to the coast. But yeah, quite enjoying this. So maybe see if it'll happen again. But close of day 2. Definitely got a clinic on tomorrow, so that will keep me busy for the day tomorrow, and I'm going to have a nice easy run tomorrow night, shake the legs out, ready for biking around the Isle of Arran on Thursday, which I don't know if you can see with that sun, but that's the island in the background over there. Good night.
The next day.
Good afternoon. Today is, God, what day is it? It's Wednesday. So today I'm at a company in Girvan. I've had a lovely commute in and got to see some of the west coast down the coastal route, and yeah, managed to get set up okay. Had a successful clinic this morning, saw 6 people. Thankfully everyone is all healthy, but that's good. Lots of advice given to avoid any health risks in the future. And yeah, just come outside, beautiful weather, on a nice little grassy patch next to the car park, and I've got an amazing view. And yeah, so today for my lunch is quite simple. So we've got some wholemeal wraps, bag of salad, and there's little cans of tuna. Make sure that I get a healthy lunch, so I'm having a couple of those. and yeah, it keeps me away from the takeaway or the burger van, which is on this industrial estate. But yeah, gets me set up for the day. I've got another 5 appointments this afternoon. I might see what's local. Gonna go for a nice little walk somewhere, and then maybe have a light run later on. My knee looks okay. I've got no soreness, so yeah, it's gonna be a good day and a good night. So yeah, big day tomorrow, cycling around the Isle of Arran. Looking forward to it. Well, I'm back in my favourite spot I've found so far for my evening meal. Best restaurant in town. We're back having a barbecue on the edges of the sand dunes over the beach at Ayr. So, having a surf and turf, steak and prawns on the barbecue and some leftover veggies. Couldn't spend another night in the hotel room because it's absolutely beautiful. It's 22 degrees and it's 8 o'clock at night right now. And from what I can gather back home, it's absolutely freezing and everyone's got the coats back out, so never mind, never mind. So thought rather than sit in the hotel room, I'd come out. I brought my laptop and I'm going to work on my athletes for a little while. It's not something I've introduced with this video so far, but yeah, because I didn't get to work on Monday, I spent 3 or 4 hours doing athletes and making a couple of calls. Spoke to 3 athletes over the phone. Yesterday afternoon I had another athlete call, so yeah, working on those then, and I'm going to do an hour now while the sun goes down. But yeah, I decided not to have a run tonight because I ended up stopping on the way back at Turnberry Golf Course. I probably got that wrong, but I'll put in the description if I did. But it's owned by Donald Trump, and it is probably the best maintained, best scenic golf course I've ever seen in my life. Ended up spending nearly 2 hours walking around and going to the lighthouse, and yeah, the best maintained lighthouse I've ever seen in my life. It was absolutely immaculate. It was like kind of like gold crested in places. Ended up buying a coffee and just sitting in the sun on the terrace there, overlooking the sea. Coffee actually cost me about £5. It was a nice coffee, to be fair, but it was worth paying that just for the view. And then I yeah, had a little walk around. There was like a monument for some soldiers from the Air Force from the Second World War, some like local guys, and yeah, working my way back, a couple of helicopters took off, so God knows who they were. They're obviously very, very wealthy people, because yeah, from what I can gather, it's anywhere from around £200 to £450 for a round of golf each day. So yes, but I get it. I mean, it's far cheaper than Ironman, let's be honest, and yeah, less stressful on the body. But yeah, so I did that instead of having a run. And then, like I say, tomorrow I've got the day off and I'm going to go cycling around Arran. So once I've had my barbecue and stuff, I'll get all my shit ready, get all my stuff ready, and put that in a separate vlog. But yeah, this is the end of Wednesday, and yeah, absolutely living my best life at the moment. It's amazing. So yeah, good evening, and look forward to tomorrow.
24 hours later.
Happy Friday, guys. So today's the last day. I managed to get across the Isle of Arran yesterday and get to go and cycle and see its beauty, the beauty of the island, and got to see some eagles and some red deer, which was absolutely amazing, and I'll put that experience in a separate vlog. And yeah, so today is the last day where I'm going to be across 2 sites. So I got up early this morning and got the car packed, made my way across to a pier, like a port in Troon, and yeah, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. I only had to screen 2 guys, which is good, And then so yeah, I've got that done, and I thought I'd come and have a little break in between, come for a little walk, try and get my steps up, because I'm going to be sat across the 2 clinics and also in a car for 4.5 hours later. So yeah, it's important on these non-exercise days to try and stay active as possible. So yeah, I've got a couple of hours in between clinics right now, so I've just found this beautiful little spot, and yeah, then I'll be making my way back home. So it's been an absolute fantastic week. In terms of work, I mean, I've probably had more pleasure than work this week, but yeah, it's been an amazing experience, and exactly why I do this type of work. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not for everybody, and it's something which I couldn't do every single week, but doing this kind of every couple of months is really worth it. And yeah, it means that I get to come to absolute glorious places like the west coast of Scotland, or if anything else comes available, I'll take it, as long as there's a reason for me to go there. But I think you believe that looking at this past video and the other vlogs that I'll be putting out, that it has been well worth the trip. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the little insight to probably me living my best freelance life this week. And yeah, please like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks.